Am I recording this straight after work? Yes. Am I doing this on the fly rather than putting a proper video format together and treating this video properly? Yes. However, I wanted to speak about this sooner rather than later because this news, if you haven't heard already, changes the format quite a bit. The new countercards have been announced on the official Japanese Twitter and official Japanese Digimon TCG news. Basically, it's a whole new mechanic where after your opponent has declared an attack, you can counter with your own Digimon, with these Ace Digimon as they're called, through this new starter decks, or two new starter decks, which are coming out in Japan. Obviously, it will hit English probably in about 6 months' time. The reaction to this news has been mixed. However, I am very, very excited. Reason one, I am excited because we are actually adding a new mechanic, not just a small new mechanic, but a large new mechanic. And two, because of this new mechanic change, it creates a different flow to the game. One, I don't think that is overpowered unless they start adding counter option cards, which they could, but hopefully those option cards aren't broken. Basically, the opponent declares an attack and their effects go off first. So, if you declare an attack and you have an on-attack effect that removes Digimon from the opponent's board, they're not going to be able to counter by digivolving because the bodies are going to be removed, so they can't counter. So there are ways to play around their counter mechanics. And also these counter cards have penalties on them. So if this counter Digimon or this Ace Digimon is removed from the field, they lose a lot of memory if that is the case. So there are things like Wargreymon X antibody where it's end of attack, so you declare your attack, do the on-attack effects, the opponent then counters, and then Wargreymon X antibody's end of attack, remove the body, which is going to give you all that memory. So, there are ways around it. I don't know how it's going to play until we actually see how Japan handles it. I'm not really gonna throw my eggs out my basket or, be upset until I've actually seen how Japan plays this out. And it could be really good for the game. Also, the fact that it has created so much talk, right? There is so much more excitement around the game because of this new counter mechanic, but it's not also just that. It is not just that. We have Mulligans are now official. Thank God. Right? How long did that take for Mulligans to be made official? So now the new rules set is that, okay, so you set up your game, you shuffle your Digi-Egg and deck first, you decide who goes first. They talk about rock, paper, scissors in the rule set. We normally do it with a dice roll, so whoever rolls the highest gets to go first or has to go first. Sometimes most of the time you kind of want to go second in the Digimon TCG for that extra memory. And then you draw 5 cards and you can go, nah, don't want that. Put that in your deck, reshuffle your deck, and then draw more 5 cards. You only do that once, so whatever you get, you get. And then you place the security, which is a different flow where I'm used to playing, where even if you had Mulligan, you would put your security down first, draw your 5 cards, be like, nah, put that up to the bottom of the deck, then draw your 5, and then you've got what you've got. This is a little bit different in the sense that you've now effectively could pull anything from your deck because you haven't put your security down, and then you start the game. You start as you would usually. Thank goodness they finally put that in. It just cements the rules. There's none of this, is this tournament doing Mulligan? Is this locals doing Mulligan? I don't know. You find out on the day. This basically just cements it in these are all the rules now. These kick in April 1st. Counter cards, English is not going to hit us for 6 months yet, so hold your horses. It's not going to be a while till we see those counter cards. Well, I say 6 months. It could be sooner than 6 months, but that's just the normal time gap from Japanese to English. So, welcome news anyway, Mulligan. Welcome news.